Today I'm going to show you how to make a beaded rosebud arrangement. Coming up. Hello my beautiful people, my name is Fen Lee, author, bead instructor, and designer here at the Bead Flora studio. If you are new here and would like to learn how to make bead and wire flowers, consider subscribing. Today's project is a repurpose of the rosebud earrings I made back in January. One of my students decided to turn them into an arrangement and I thought it was brilliant. So today I'm going to show you how to make simple rosebuds and then combine them together to make an arrangement. Now this is a beginner project, and if you need more in-depth instruction on the techniques, refer to this video right there. And as always, materials and tool lists will be in the description. I have some size 11 green seed beads on a spool of 24 gauge green copper core wire. You can also use a 26 gauge for the calyx. We're going to start out with a 5-inch tail. I'm just going to eyeball that. And the technique that we'll be using is the continuous loop. So what we're going to do is we're going to count 10 beads here and make a loop with those 10 beads and twist. And the pattern calls for 5 10 bead continuous loops. So now let's twist these two ending tail wires together and cut another tail off of the spool. So here I have some size 11 yellow seed beads on a spool of 26 gauge silver wire. I'm going to leave about 5 inches for the tail. So this is about 5 inches. I'm just eyeballing that. And the technique we'll be using is the continuous wraparound loop. And we're going to start out with 5 beads for a 5 bead double wraparound loop. So we're just making the cross here. And because I am left-handed, I like to wrap from left to right. So I'm just going to move the working wire to the left-hand side. And just make one double wraparound loop. So here we have one 5 bead double wraparound loop, and the pattern for the inner petals calls for 3 double wraparound loops. Let's leave 1/8 inch of space in between. Make my loop here. And I'm going to take this working wire, move it to the left-hand side because I like to wrap from left to right. So now we have 2 5 bead double continuous wraparound loops. Now I'm going to make one more, so we have 3 in total. I have all 3 of the petals done here, so let's cut another tail off of the spool of 5 inches. Flying beads everywhere. With the 3 petals, we're just going to shape them and scrunch them into the middle. These are the inner bud petals here. Now we're going to work on the outer petals, so let's leave a 5-inch tail, and this looks to be about 5 inches. I just eyeball that. And the pattern calls for 7 bead double wraparound loops. So this is 7 beads right here. Let's leave 1/8 inch of space in between. I have all 5 of the petals done, so let's cut another tail off of the spool. And take the 2 ending tail wires and twist it together. Now we're going to work on the leaves, and the pattern calls for a 3 bead basic, which means we start with 3 beads to make the basic frame. So let's leave about an inch of space for the top basic wire here. And I'm going to hold on to the spot and make a twisted wire and loop. So we're basically just making like a continuous loop, but with bare wire here. And I'm just going to adjust this here. I don't need it to be so long. I'm going to twist this here down about 1/4 inch. The pattern calls for pointed tops, rounded bottoms, 5 rows. Let's line this up with the first row here and remove any excess beads. And remember, we want to position the wire like this at a 45-degree angle. If you wrap like this, you're going to have a rounded top. But if you position it like this, then you're going to get a pointed top. Okay, don't do anything yet. Push the beads up, push it down, and now it's nice and pointed. Now we position it so that the twisted wire and the tail wire is facing up. Now we're going to wrap straight behind and back to the front to form a rounded bottom. And for the top again, we'll do a pointed top. So position the wire at a 45-degree angle and wrap. Don't do anything yet. Push the beads up and then push it down. Okay, so I'm just going to wrap down just a little bit here and cut this off. And I'm going to cut right here so that there are 2 bottom wires. Just going to finish this off by cutting the top, leaving about 1/8 inch of wire left. Turn it around and bend this back. And for each rosebud, we're going to need 3 leaves, 1 with 2 bottom wires and 2 with 1 bottom wires. Reduce it right here to 1 bottom wire. I'm going to take my pliers here and just tuck these in gently. So here we have all of our units and ready to assemble. So let's take the inner petals and insert that into the hole of the outer petals here. Now take this and insert that into the hole of the calyx. There may be too many wires, so I'm just going to open this up here and just place it right in the center. And just twist this here. And pull this back down. And scissor the base of the flower and twist. You don't need to twist too much, probably about 1/4 inch is fine. I said 1/4 inch, right? I got a little twist happy. Now we're going to assemble the leaves. So take the one with the 2 bottom wires here. And then take some fluoro tape, stretch it out. And just start wrapping around it. I'm just going to go down maybe about 1/2 inch or so. It looks like about 1/2 inch, and attach the second leaf. Now I'm going to attach the third one right over here. You don't need to go all the way down because we're going to continue wrapping with the floral tape later when we attach it. So let's take the floral tape now, stretch it out, and wrap it around the stem here of the rose. And then let's attach the leaves on. Okay, at this point here, we do want to make the wires flush. So I'm just going to cut right here. Just going to bend this up here. And I have 13 of these rosebuds made. I'm just going to tie them together in a little posy. I have a couple that are slightly longer than the rest, so I think these are it. I'm going to put these right in the middle. One of them is longer. Or it doesn't really matter, just stick them all together. That's good. Right, it's okay, it's good. Alright, so now I'm going to take my floral tape and I'm just going to wrap this around. Just going to arrange these a little bit. Or just shape them. I want to have the leaves facing out. You can shape the stems just so that they're not completely straight. To make them more interesting. Okay, and I have this little vase here. And I'm just going to put this in here. I also want to show you this little pot here. This is a tiny succulent pot, about 2 inches by 2 inches. And I put some clay in here. And then just stuck the stems in. And then covered the top with moss. And for some reason, my moss had this cute little acorn top. So I just stuck it in there. If you make a rosebud arrangement, I love to see it. Join me in the Learn How to Make French Beaded Flowers Facebook group. And here is one of my featured students. I'll see you next time.